additional 7 tracks on it. And then you get a bonus DVD with 90 minutes of footage behind the scenes. So that's going to be a nice little gift for her Barbs and Kens. But Nicki, she's doing American Idol next year, and that was the only reason why I really wanted to watch this special, because I wanted to see if she's going to bring up any of the beef that she had Mariah Carey on American Idol, and she actually does that. She talks about, Mariah, didn't expect to meet her match. Mariah, for a long time, made her voice heard behind the scenes that she didn't want another female on the panel. And then when, Mariah said that Nicki was talking about bringing guns to the set and bringing her goons, aka SB, and then you had Barbara Walters getting in the middle of it, and then Nicki Minaj is upset at Barbara Walters right now. Sometimes, because Barbara Walters, she's an old woman. She's, a woman of a particular age. She's vintage pussy. So because of that, you don't want to, sometimes when it's a settled old white woman, because Barbara Walters, she's a settled old white woman. I mean, if your chin goes down to your breast nipples right now, you're a settled old woman. But she's nice though. So I see if Barbara was a disrespectful type of hoe. But, I mean, she's not a hoe, excuse me. But if she was a disrespectful type of person, then that would be, go off the handle. But with Barbara, she's nice, and she's always trying to remain the calm, settled one. And, you got Nicki yelling at her. It kind of makes you feel bad for Barbara Walters. And y'all heard the way Nicki was saying Barbara Walters. You can tell, that was that New York right there. But the thing about Nicki is, when I watched her show for the past 2 episodes, I'm really convinced that something is wrong with her. I'm definitely convinced, because something it doesn't seem quite right. She fly off the handle sometimes. A lot of the time, she's always upset. She's always mad, and it's always about the little stuff. And I understand you want to be a boss. I understand you want people to take you serious and everything like that. But if you're acting childlike in a way, I mean, it may be something wrong in her head. Maybe she needs some medication for real. Maybe this whole bipolar, like I always say, this bipolar stuff is nothing, new to her. This is what she is. But I like Nicki for her artistry. I like Nicki for the, how she came from basically nothing to what she's doing right now. But sometimes I can't get jiggy with her little attitudes. And also, Nicki also said recently that her 3rd album that's coming out next year, that's tentatively titled Pink Friday, it's a tongue twister, people. Pink Friday, the Pink Print. Y'all know how Jay-Z had the blueprint? Hers is going to be called Pink Friday, the Pink Print. Yeah, it is what it is. But she said that the album will be less pop and more urban. So I guess a lot of y'all that voice your opinion about her coming out with, songs like Va Va Voom and Starships and everything like that, I guess y'all, I guess those sticks won't be raving at the rave next year, because Nicki's going back to the trap, everybody, because she bees in the trap just like that. And that was my little whack moment for the night, everyone. So, that's Nicki, and her 3rd part of her series comes on the 3rd part finale of that series comes on this Sunday night on E at 10:30 p.m. Everybody should make sure you check that out. And like I said, her album Pink Friday Roman Reloaded, the re-up, long ass title, everybody, that comes out on the 19th on Monday. Now moving on to Elmo. Now Elmo, y'all know about Tickleing Elmo. It's holiday season coming up, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be buying their kids Tickleing Elmos. But did y'all know that Elmo was tickling little boys? Now, Kevin Clash, who is also the, puppeteer behind Elmo, his hand's always been up Elmo's ass for the past, 30-something years. Well, now, it seems like the Sesame Street is a little friendlier to the gay community, because Kevin Clash, I didn't know this, because, first of all, I'm just now finding out Kevin Clash was, a black person basically playing Elmo. I never knew that for a long time. Well, Kevin Clash was being accused of having sexual relations with a young 16-year-old boy. Well, the story got out. Kevin Clash decided to take some time away from Sesame Street, so Elmo won't be on the block lately. But, he took some little time, to get the whole story straight and everything like that. Kevin Clash had the email, there were some emails involved too, people. Kevin Clash emailing people, shout out to Jerry Sandusky. I'm pretty sure he would get a field day out of little boys and, Elmo on the street and everything and little puppets. But The CD, I mean, not the CD, goodness. I'm looking at different news people. I'm multitasking, y'all know how I do. But the emails were talking about how, he missed the boy and everything like that, and how he wanted to bring him to New York on Sesame Street and have some relations with Bert and Ernie. I was like, you know what, if whoever your fantasy is, it is what it is. Well, it comes to find out that the accuser recanted his story. He said that he was actually 18, so he was actually of age. It was consensual. He tried to get a little payday because, like I said, y'all know, Tickle Elmo's go on sale this Black Friday, which is next week. So y'all know all the parents going to buy this, Elmo toys, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Clash get a little percentage of those toy sales. And when money gets involved, people come out the woodwork, and especially when it's going to be a huge thing like that. But it just made me wonder, like, is that a fantasy, having a plush puppet in the room? And I wonder if Kevin Clash used his Tickle Me Elmo voice. To each his own, people, to each its own. But moving on from that, people, let me see, what do I have right here? Alright, so everybody, if you're in the Baltimore area, scratch that. If you're riding a bus, people, it's not safe no more like it used to be. Now, y'all know a few weeks ago there was the whole bus situation in in Cleveland, where the bus driver and the little girl got into a little uppercut Street Fighter style. Well, now that's happening again in Baltimore. Now, what happened was there was a fight posted on YouTube and Worldstar Hip Hop, of course, where the bus driver was seen, having a little situation with a teen female student passenger. She was trying to control the teen student, but then the student appears to punch and kick the driver multiple times as the driver tries to hold the girl down. Then the bus driver finally seems to overpower the student and ask her if fighting somebody makes her feel better. Then everybody move out the way. One passenger tells the bus driver to leave the girl alone. Then the driver appears to say that the fight was about being disrespectful. So, I mean, it is the city, it is inner city, it is Baltimore. A lot of those girls are a little disrespectful. So, I mean, of course it was going to come to a beatdown point for real. But, I mean, some people had to be put in their place. Whether I work in the customer service environment, and I will say this: if a customer comes at me wrong, I will put them in their place, because you don't want to be disrespectful. When you get that feeling of being disrespected, you will go off that on any means necessary. It is what it is, but that's just how it is. So if you ride the bus nowadays, people, I haven't ridden the bus in forever, and even when I was living in Philly, I would take the bus, or I would take the train and everything like that. Now with the train, you can't see anybody, you can't see the conductor or anything like that. But when you are on the bus, on the SEPTA, for the years that I was in Philly, and I didn't see any situations on the bus at all where it would lead to that. So, I mean, it's just, it's funny, but it is what it is. And I like to watch Worldstar Hip Hop type of fights, so we need more of those. Now, moving on from that, and that was our foolishness moment of the night, people. Now, moving on to another story right now. Lil Mama, aka what I call her Lil Daddy, she's the ultimate favorite flop of FNL. We love to talk about her so much. We make her cry. If her face was the Bible, it would be the Old Testament. Y'all know we go in on her, and we don't like him. I'm still convinced to this day that it's Bow Wow dressed in drag, trying to confuse us. And she had the nerve to play to be Michelle Obama for Halloween. What kind of damn Little Daddy? Take your ass somewhere looking like a little gremlin, looking like a little Lucky Charm that wasn't lucky, that got burnt in the hell. I mean, just the ugliest stumped face ever. But Lil Mama is out of a job now again, because MTV has decided to cancel America's Best Dance Crew after 7 seasons. Now, the reason being because of dwindling viewership. Ratings have been dropping. And if y'all notice too, like the last season that happened like early this summer or the spring, whenever it was on, it didn't feel right. And even the season before that didn't feel right, when they had to return to the superstars. And then when last season, which ended up being the final season, they brought all of the old crews back, or no, they brought an old crew, that fanny pack or something. It was a mess. So because of that, I knew it was bound to eventually go out. MTV does stuff like that. Like when the show is on its final legs, they kind of stretch it out for a long time and make it whack in the ending. Like TRL was always a good show, and then when it was in its final stages, it was like, yeah, everybody know they're ready to go. So now JC Chazez and Lil Daddy and who was the other person that was judging, now they're out of jobs, people. But coming back to MTV though, which I'm kind of excited about because this used to be my show every Thursday night or whenever it came on. But Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out is making a return, everybody. Yes, Wildin' Out is making a return. They're looking for some new people to join the cast, so there's a link out there on MTV Network's casting list if you want to be a part of the show. But some of the old people are coming back too, some of the old cast members, so that should be something good to watch on MTV finally after all these years of whack ass television. But so that's that right there. Another little news bit right now. Outkast. Now I love me some Outkast. They're one of those groups that I just, I'm just always a big fan of. And they're the ones, they taking a long time. Bit Boy got his new album getting ready to come out. He got his new single with Kelly Rowland, Mama Told Me, which is a hot joint, by the way. They just shot the video for that, so you have to be on the lookout for that soon. But 150,000, lately he's just been on features. We heard him on Frank Ocean's album, he was on Beyonce's album, and he's just been, that's it, just been doing features, but they've been dope features though. Rick Ross album, I mean, he's good. But when asked about doing an Outkast album in the future, he says, "We don't know what the future will be. There could be, I just can't say right now." While warning that, everybody, when you hear the rumors that they are coming out with an album, don't believe it. He said, "If we decide to do something, you'll know about it. The internet is such a misinformation age right now. There's so much bad stuff that you don't even know what to believe. So don't believe anything about Outkast on the internet until we say it." So and he's on T.I.'s new album getting ready to come out too, Trouble Man, which is coming out in December. But it's been a long time. Idlewild, I don't count that as an Outkast album. That doesn't get my approval. It was a good soundtrack. It was a good little thing, but I still, it was a soundtrack. So, of course, we're still all waiting for that. So I'm waiting for Outkast. Even a 3000 album, we're still waiting for a 3 Stacks solo album. He's been taking too long, but these features, like I said, they've been dope as hell. So I guess that makes up for it. Y'all excuse me, like I said, I'm getting rid of this cold. I'm not dying over here, I'm not choking or anything. I'm good. One more news tidbit too. For a person that I like as a songwriter, as an artist, sometimes he annoys me, sometimes he makes some people flop, but it is what it is. And I'm talking about Terrius Nash, aka The Dream. Now, back in last year, he came up with a free album called 1977, which was dope too. It was super, super dope. Like, y'all have to listen to it. And it's a joint up there called Ghetto with Big Sean. Now, here's a little music trivia tidbit. If y'all didn't know this, on the end of Ghetto, he sings basically the first verse and half of the chorus of Beyonce's Dance For You. So Beyonce's Dance For You actually derived from that song in particular. But yeah, The Dream is coming out with his new album. 1977 is going to be his new album. The CD was supposed to be called, Love 4. It's supposed to be that whole love series that he had with his albums. But now this is being considered his 4th album, 1977. It's going to be commercially released next month, everybody, in December. So y'all can go ahead and pick up The Dream's new album, December 1977. And it is going to include 2 new tracks too. Now I'm wondering if it's going to include Dope Bitch, because it's going to include the original 10 songs that was on the original release when it was free. So I wonder how people do that, like how fans react to stuff like that. Like if someone comes out with an album that's free for free 99, and then you decide to come out with it in stores later on. Like Weeknd, he has this new album right now, speaking of The Dream, because they both sound the damn same. But The Weeknd has this album trilogy in stores right now too. But there was the 3 mixtapes that he had out for free online. So excuse me, people, I'm good. But yeah, so I mean, it's more mastered though. So when it is coming out in stores and you are paying for it, you are going to get a more mastered, eventful listening experience. So, and that's just like with Miguel's new album too, Let Us Go Dream. You know, they were basically $2.99 EPs on iTunes. Now there's a full album. So, I mean, the new marketing strategy is really good. But people, that's about my time, though. I will talk to you all tomorrow night. I appreciate you all for listening, sticking through these technical difficulties. I'm about to go watch Houston's on our own since I missed it tonight. But I'm going to check you all tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for sure, people, now that we got the mics worked out. So I'll check you all tomorrow night, everyone. Peace.